Hi, welcome to the as yet so unnamed podcast, episode 1, The Research Begins. We're going to be looking at witchcraft, occult, myths, legends, everything. We're looking at all the weird stuff that kind of goes on, the things that occur that not really many people know about. We've always had an interest in it and we wanted to sort of explore it, and then we thought we could record a podcast, invite you guys along with us, come and experience it with us and find out some of the sort of crazy things that go on and the weird and wonderful things that occur. The sound's a bit dodgy because we're sat in a pub. First time we were doing it this time, so bear with us, it's gonna get better. And I'm full of a cold at this time, so I sound super nasally. So I'm gonna apologise for that, but I'm sure you'll manage. So we hope you enjoy it, and thanks for joining.
Podcast about cults and the occult, or our journey into it.
Yeah. A deep bottomless pit that we've suddenly realised is large and endless.
Yeah, and goes back like crazy. So
We did very little research. Well, we did a reasonable bit, didn't we?
not really. We looked up at the hairy hands, and then
We looked up at the hairy hands of a road in, where was it?
it's in
So that's how good the
it's
research was.
it's in Devon for sure. I can't remember
About
where in Devon.
mysterious hairy hands that appear and
Make people crash. But we just went to the Witchcraft Museum in
Boscastle. Yeah. And it was a lot better than I expected, actually. A lot better. Because we needed a
Yeah, me
starting
too.
point.
I didn't think we'd get anything, but we
Yeah,
got
we-
loads of stuff.
We needed somewhere to start, really, because we've got this sort of plan of like going and visiting local places around England, Scotland, you know, sticking to the UK at the minute.
I'm gonna make a book.
Yeah, I think that's the end result that we kind of want to go for. Make a crazy little book thing.
What I really liked about it was just finding all these little different avenues we can go down. Like the death masks is super interesting to me.
Yeah, so we're
I
gonna be
wanna
doing
write about that.
What are we doing then? We're doing we're talking about occult and all this kind of stuff. This isn't going to be a serious podcast. We're going to have a laugh. We're drinking beer. We're probably going to get progressively more drunk throughout each episode. That's the plan. We don't want this to be serious. It's kind of a talking point for us to throw ideas around.
Yes. Very true.
And you guys can throw in ideas at us if anybody really listens to this.
Yeah, so there's a few points that super interested me. Death masks I want to do, and also I want to make one if we can. Which, I mean, obviously not a real death mask.
I was going to say,
be dead.
we won't be well, we can.
But submerge our face in wax.
Yeah, do you not need to? Yeah, but you can't, because you need to breathe. You'll die.
Oh, just for a little period of time.
You can't just
And then
hold your
peel
breath
it
and
off.
then if it doesn't peel, it's stuck on a beard and then you just die. You can't do it. It'd be way cooler if they were actually dead.
I'm making a note. Death masks, can we make one?
Yeah, so the Museum of Witchcraft in Boscastle was established in 1957, I think.
That was correct, I think.
By
By Cecil something or other. Can't remember his last name.
and it appears that it's had an impact on Boscastle as a whole because the place is like everywhere. It's just like witchcraft. This is our first time doing this, so you'll have to forgive us.
So basically, I've got a shitload of names. Joan White.
I'm trying to tell them what the Witchcraft Museum was like. I'm trying to set a scene here,
Okay.
and then you can go into it.
Okay. Go with that.
It was 1957.
Cecil Williamson, who was a kind of eccentric fan and practitioner of witchcraft. And he basically went around just assembling all of these artifacts and memorabilia of witchcraft
Yeah.
that he put in a museum in Boscastle.
Yeah.
He knew Aleister Crowley, he knew all these different people, that the big ones. That's something I want to go see actually. By the way.
Yeah, we bought a book as well called Dew of Heaven, Objects of Ritual Magic.
Which isn't cum actually. It's actually the dew that is on grass.
Yeah. Well, because we thought, Dew of Heaven.
That just sounds like cum, doesn't it?
Because everything.
It's
well, not
related to
everything.
knobs and
Yeah.
fannies.
It's just dicks and.
There's some wicked like terracotta tits, and you could pull the nipple off and store things inside. They were
Milk.
fucking awesome.
They were storing milk in them. The mushroom, the giant phallic mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2 mushrooms and then a mushroom stalk that made a penis.
Crowley's black dick candles.
Yeah, they were. Because the fire represented man's
The burning
lust.
lust of man.
That's it,
Very
yeah.
clever.
Yeah.
The research begins. That would be the colon. Podcast episode 1, colon. The research
No,
begins.
episode 1.
Episode 1.
Episode I.
Yeah, 'cause it's
podcast.
Roman in it. Yeah, that's cooler.
A new research.
Like Star Wars.
I don't want to. Some new research.
Yeah. Or the research strikes back. Because really we have started
Phantom research.
Yeah.
Because it's not there.
And it might be a menace as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Alright, yeah, so first like... Oh god, there was so much to read. There was so much stuff. Like, you think of paganism and witchcraft, and we're not necessarily... This is kind of all forms of what witchcraft is defined at. Like, there's all sorts of bits and bobs in there, and different pieces about, Aleister Crowley and... What was that guy called? John Lee?
John Dee.
John Dee.
Yeah, they called him the Merlin of
Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth, yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
It's cool as fuck, in my opinion. I'm drawing a death mask, by the way.
Why?
Just to remind me.
Well, you've written it down. You can't have a death mask. You need to find someone deaf. Do a death mask on a cat. Find a cat in the road. Get that ginger one that's outside our house.
I'm gonna look it up, I bet people do it. I bet there's a way of doing it.
Do it outside our house. Get that cat.
What, Neville?
George.
He's called Neville. No, his actual name is Neville.
Oh, his actual name is
Yeah,
Neville.
do. But I found out that we want to do in future trips / episodes, I guess. Joan White, famous witch from, I can't remember the year, I didn't write it.
I think she was here.
She was buried.
Here. She was buried before here, and then they dug her up, they exhumed her,
Yeah, moved her.
and then moved her, and she's not far away from where we are. We're hoping to visit in
But
the morning,
the-
but probably not going to happen.
Burial site is a pilgrimage to take because she was quite a big figure in witchcraft. So, Wiccans will take that walk to her grave, and there's this really cool gravestone that they had a replica of. I can't remember what it said on it, but super cool gravestone that's buried out there with her. Not buried out with her. There's one buried with her,
Yeah.
and then there's one.
Yeah, one buried with her, so that if somebody accidentally digs her up, they know who it is.
Yeah. But then there's one on the outside, obviously like a normal gravestone.
And there's often like a lot of flowers. I was looking at it on the little documentary I watched on YouTube, and it was there was little. Everyone.
What, you knew about her before?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'd watched a little documentary on the museum, so
Oh no shit, right.
check
okay.
it out. It's pretty good. Well, it's an olden but golden.
Alright, I didn't know that. But yeah, Joan White was an important one. There was one Snows Hill Manor in Gloucestershire.
What was that about?
There was a weird room in there, and they called Cecil Williamson in to come and have a look at it, and he found a shitload of like weird witchy artifacts and things, which I don't know if any of it still remains, but that could be some interesting thing to look into. To see if we can go into that room and have a look at it. There was the Ritual Tombs in Glastonbury Street area.
I don't know.
I don't know where that is, but I just wrote all these names down, but then no notes about what
Yeah,
they
well,
did.
yeah. I was gonna
But
say.
I can look it up. I wrote down dog's heart pierced with pins, because I quite like that image. Mummified in tar, made from tree resin. That was the skull.
Oh no shit.
Did you see that?
I think so.
Ancient,
The one
it was
with
found in, I'm sure it was like World War II era,
Right.
in a chest. And they were like, where the fuck is this from? And then eventually someone gave it up to be looked at, and they found out it was an Egyptian girl.
Who the fuck,
Mummified
right?
in-
Who the fuck goes along and goes, you know what, the skull, I'm going to put this in my little
I'm gonna
box.
put it in a chest. Yeah, I'm not sure.
And then doesn't tell anybody. It's like, I found a skull. If I found a skull, I'd be telling everybody.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like-
No, no. Some people are weird.
But no, I'm gonna keep it in a chest. I'm gonna let it sit there. I'm gonna let it stew. Get all.
Well, it was mummified, so it's not gonna rot. But yeah, I don't know why you'd put it in a chest and then just leave it and then die and then someone else finds it.
Yeah. You'd leave a note, at least like a post down there.
Yeah. I found this.
I found a head.
Some people.
Was
are
it just the skull?
Just the skull. Some people are insensitive. Can't think of things like that, do they?
Poor Egyptian girl. They should have prayed to Ra or something to. Ra?
Or Thoth,
Or Thoth.
god of knowledge.
Yeah. Or.
Was that right? Thoth was the god of knowledge?
Yeah. I don't know whether it's god of knowledge.
That was the whole.
The only thing I know is that of all the gods is like off Moses. This Disney film or the Pixar film when they're doing that scene where they go.
It's probably not a good one. It's probably not a good reference point.
Why?
Well, I don't know.
Top things.
Anubis, Ra, Isis. Thoth.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we know. Egyptian done. Right.
I thought it was funny they had mandrake coffins, which I'm not going to do any more research into, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah. So like the mandrakes
The
at
roots,
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Mandrakes at Harry Potter are actually in this old thing.
Yeah, are an actual real thing, which are a root, and they genuinely look like little.
Monsters.
Yeah, little people, little like wrinkly baby things. Do you know what they were made out of? What root they were of? A mandrake, obviously. But what the hell's a mandrake? Is it like a fruit? Like
I don't know.
like
This is so weird.
Like a root.
No, so little of everything. Yeah,
As you can see, we know
mandrake
nothing.
root, I assume, is something that brought life or whatever, and because it looks like a little person, they attributed some kind of meaning to it.
Yeah, which was pretty cool.
I also wrote down scree slopes of Brown Willie.
What does that even? Scree slopes of Brown Willie.
Bodmin Moor Rock. Oh, this wicked link between research I've done previously, not unrelated to this whole project, on the cult of Saturn, which dates back to like Roman times. They did a festival called Saturnalia. There's all this blah 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 blah. It's basically relates to alchemy as well in terms of turning lead into gold or turning Saturn into the sun, which they called the unconquered sun. It's all super interesting. I'm sure I'll get into it at some point because I want to pursue that more. But I found that John Dee, Queen Elizabeth's Merlin, thought he spoke to spirits. He did scrying with Edward Kelly, thought he spoke to spirits. One of the spirits that came to him was a jester that opened up his chest, and on his heart was carved L, the word L, E-L, which is another
E-L?
name. E-L.
Oh, I thought you said just L.
Yeah. Well, L.
Oh, as in like EL.
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Really? Oh right. Okay.
So another name for this cult of Saturn was the cult of El. And in Saturnalia, the ritual, the festival, they would name a Lord of Misrule who would act like a jester, and everything he said you would have to do. And then at the end of the festival, which I think is 5 days around Christmas time, they get sacrificed to Saturn, bled out for Saturn.
That'd suck.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, well,
Well,
you get 5 days of like exactly everything
What
you
you want.
want. You
What
could be
would you
like,
do?
let's have sex, or go get me a beer, and then you kind of have to do it.
I guess.
Yeah. It'd still be a bit of misery if you were like have sex with me. It's kind of like rape it. It could be miserable, but
yeah.
But I think
I don't want to. But
I think everyone's,
and everybody's just gonna be sad.
I think everyone's having fun. So you know, I sound like a bit of a bigot saying that, but
I don't know. It'd be weird.
yeah.
Be like, oh, I've got 5 days. But I suppose in that sense, you'd be like, oh, I get to be that person.
Yeah, like a god.
So it'd be
almost.
like well, bleeding out. Sounds like a sucky way to
Well,
go.
I think they just do the throat and you're gone.
I don't know whether you go when you do that, do they? It's not like they're severing your spinal cord, is it?
Yeah, no, good point.
They're just like, you're just there like...
But yeah, that's a massive thing that I want to look more into, the links between those, because that's super interesting to me.
We met Baphomet. He was nice. Very tall.
Yeah,
Not taller than I thought he'd be.
There's a wicked depiction of him, isn't there, with like a goat head,
Yeah.
like human-sized, or
He always has
taller than
boobs as well.
Did he have boobs under his robe?
Not under his... Well, I don't know, I didn't look.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just go and look on the Baphomet.
But on the picture on the back of the book that we bought, he's got boobs.
Yeah. So we bought this book called The Dew of Heaven, or The Come of Heaven, Objects of Ritual Magic. And on the back of it, it's got a picture of Baphomet, who is not. So I learned that his arms are androgynous, so they're both, one's male, one's female.
Oh no shit, I didn't know that.
And then he's got breasts, and it's all about representing life, and he has a rod instead of any genitalia, because that's like... I can't remember it. There was a reason for it, I can't remember it off the top of my head. It was something to do with, like, it represents life and stuff, so obviously everybody, like, especially Christianic religions, and always represent the pentagram, or the pentacle, the 5-sided star, as Satanistic, as devil worship, as that kind of area.
What's the Star of David though? Is that not a
The Star of David is essentially that's the Star of David, I think. I think it doesn't have more. I think it has more sides. I think it's 6-sided.
Oh, okay.
I think it's septagon. But the pentagram is twisted by like 20%. So it's the pentacle has a point straight up, then 2 down, and then 2 pointing outwards.
Oh, okay.
The pentagram is twisted, which represents Satan's head, where
Oh yeah, it's 1
going
point down,
is
isn't it?
Yeah,
And then
it's
the
1
ears
point
and the
down,
horns,
which is
yeah.
goatee, and then his ears, and then his horns. And that is the satanic version of the pentagram. There's the sigil of Baphomet.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
And then within that they have, around it, they have different symbols, which might actually, so we were looking at Aleister Crowley, and we started having a look at, listening to the
Enochian language,
and
which is supposedly the language of the angels.
Yeah, I know, we were, so there's a big thing about in witchcraft about circles, and like the earth is connected to heaven through a link, and this and that, and angels play a part in which they speak the language of God, and Adam.
Yeah,
No.
so Adam spoke Enochian in the Garden of Eden, and that's
Yeah.
how he named all the plants and
Yeah.
fruits, which I didn't know before.
And
I think
then
that's cool as fuck.
so Enochian is what John Dee wrote down in his own journals.
Yeah.
As how did you describe it before? Because you described it way better. About how he came to write the...
Oh, he spoke to the spirits that he considered angels, like the jester.
Yeah, so
They
spent
told
ages,
him how
with his
to
crystals,
speak it. Yeah.
and they taught him out, which is just insane. Like, so crazy that a guy was just...
Well, and then people actually speak that language. Well, I suppose it's just like JR talking, isn't it, with
Yeah.
Elvish.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
But,
We should go into that more as well.
yeah, definitely. There's loads
I
of
want to try and learn Enochian. I don't think I'll be able to. I struggled with French at GCSE.
Yeah, can you imagine us talking like, just walking around talking Enochian? So apparently it's related to Hebrew. So it uses symbols like Hebrew, and the reason why I said about it was because I didn't make this connection before, but on the sigil of Baphomet, which is a satanic one, some of them have a ring around and they have symbols in that which represent different things. I don't know what they are, but they looked kind of Enochian, so it might be the same link. Because Anton LaVey, who wrote the Satanic Bible, which is a great read, he borrowed Enochian from where it was written. So from John Dee, he used it, and in the original verses of John Dee's version, where he wrote God and the angels, Anton LaVey changed it to Satan and demons, but he only changed it in the English translation of those.
Oh, so he didn't actually change the words?
No, so he had the other ones in there, but he was putting Yahweh, which is the old version and the way that pagans talk of God, as Yahweh, and he left it in there, which is fun, like one of those little quims. God, the face, dog, cat, fox, what was it?
The death mask, yeah, that was attached to a fox.
It was
fucking awesome.
A fox body, like stuffed, and then there was a death mask on it.
Yeah.
Because
it was a witch that thought her spirit animal was a fox, and she wanted to be reincarnated as a fox. So she made him make a death mask of her and attach it to a taxidermy fox.
And in what sense, like, you're trying to imagine that they literally just ripped the face off the fox and then plonked her face right on top of that, then wrapped the fur around it so it's like a fox with like
a human face that looks like it's in agony.
It's so creepy. Just dead, just eyes closed.
Yeah.
I wonder if it works. I wonder if there's a fox running around there that's like...
Oh, I think she died ages ago as well, so that fox would probably be dead.
No, but oh yeah, true.
And then I wonder what she made her fox friends do when she passed away as a
Fox
fox.
friends.
Maybe a chicken.
No, because foxes eat chickens.
Yeah, exactly. She wanted to experience that life.
She wanted to be on the other side. That's very wise.
I feel like she was a wise person. Probably at the end of this trip we will.
I hope so. We're hoping to meet some. We want to go to. We want to meet some people. We want to go around town. We want to meet some folk and see what goes on.
And we'll tell you about it more, I guess, in this same format.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't be as terrible. It will get better. I'm full of cold, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
So I sound nasally as hell. So this is my first introduction. So if my voice sounds better, let me know. And I'll shove tissue up my nose every time.
Okay, so that wraps up the first episode of the As Yet So Unnamed podcast. Bit dodgy to start with, we know. We're all over the place. This is our first time doing this, but we wanted to bring you along from the start. This is kind of our starting point. And we wanted everybody to be with us at the start and sort of grow and watch the podcast evolve. We're looking forward to the next time. We're going to be going up to Bodmin. We're staying at the infamous Jamaica Inn that is renowned for being haunted. It's been almost haunted before. Also Bodmin, obviously there's the Beast of Bodmin Moor, and it's notorious with witchcraft and occult history. So we're going to be staying there for 2 nights. We're going to be recording another podcast then. Hopefully we'll have somebody to talk to. We don't know yet, but it should be good. We're really looking forward to it. So until then, thanks for listening. Bye.